Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to my new subscribers. And if you have been with me for a while, welcome back. And thank you for coming. So today is Saturday, and on Monday, so my son is coming home tonight from his summer job. And tomorrow we're scrambling and cleaning and packing. And on Monday, we are going to Alaska, because my mom and my dad and my brother and his partner live in Anchorage. So I need to have some stuff, some artsy, journaly stuff to take with me. And that's what I'm here to do today. I'm going to make myself a little bit of a journal, and I'll explain what I'm thinking. But first, I also did purchase this from Blick Art. I think it was Blick, yeah, it was Blick. It's a little watercolor journal, and it's very sweet and lovely. So one of the things that I'm hoping to do is to do some watercolor journaling, just a little vignette each day. And to that end, I also picked up this adorable, look, it has a little thumb graspy thing. How does that go? Maybe it goes like this. I don't know. Hold on, let's open it. I made that a little elastic because it didn't come with it. But look, it's so cute. It's got this little set of half pans, and I stuck these little papers in there because they were wobbling around. And this is my little Tim Holtz mini mister. And I emptied it because you're not allowed to have water, right? Even though this is tiny on the airplane. But I have this little set of half pans, and they're so cute. This one's popped out. And they're very cute. This whole insert comes out, and they can slide in and out. They came all wrapped up in some paper, some like wax paper. And you unwrap them from the paper, pop them in their pans, and pop them into these little holders. So then I had some scrap watercolor paper that I stuck on top of them just to try and hold everything in place a little bit better so it's not all rattling around. But I thought that was fun and cute. So that's what I'm going to do for my watercolor journaling. And then what else did I grab? In here, I got myself, I had that, and I had the pencil, and I had the water marker. Oh, that's gotta be less than, I suppose I should empty it. I have some Micron pens. I had those, and then I treated myself to these two pens. These are Pigma Sensei. This is a Sakura 0.06, and this is a 0.04. I have, what do I have in here? I think I have a duplicate of the 0.04. Oh, this is just a precise, here. I also have an 04 in here already. I did buy myself some ink and a dip pen, but I don't think I'm going to bring that. And then I have these Faber-Castell Graphite Aquarelle. They're water-soluble graphite pencils. And this came with something. Oh, this came with the pencils, a little watercolor brush. So that is my kit at the moment. I'm thinking of maybe adding some different markers to my bag. And this is my cute little zippered baggie that a friend of mine gave to me years and years ago. That is just going to fit in everything nicely. So I have room in there. So I might take some, what do I have? I have Stabilo pens, and then I have some Zig pens, and then I have, of course, I have some Tombos. But I don't want to carry too much either. So I'm trying to not take too much, trying to be good. All right, so that brings us to why am I really here today? Am I recording? I'm recording. Oh, that's good. I need to make myself a little journal, and I really want this journal to have pockets. Because I want to, kind of inspired by Louisa Heinzel and how she just collected all the papers from her trip to Rome this year. I want to collect papers. I don't know if I'm going to do all the papers. Like, I don't know if I'm going to keep receipts and things. But I want to collect papers, and I want to collect them in this envelope. And then I want to put some paper in this envelope as well, just to keep, you know, more of like a bulleted list of what we do each day. Not like a whole kind of journaling thing, but just to jog my memory when I get home and I actually journal. So I tore out, so the first thing I did is, you just saw me cut off this because I like to have these double pocketed. I tore off the metal clasp. Oh, I don't have my light on. I'm sorry. Is that better? Sorry about that. Let me turn all my lights on. Silly me. And I have one more here. How's that? I think that's better. I apologize. All right, so I pulled off the little metal clasp and I stuck a piece of sticky craft tape behind to reinforce it, and some masking tape. I think I'm going to wind up cutting a little bit of a thumb hole here and here, but it'll still be reinforced. And this is already kind of reinforced because it has that bit there. So I tore out of an old atlas a map of Alaska, and I was thinking about this. I think I'm going to have this come all the way up to the edge here, even though it dips down, and then I'm gonna cut the thumb hole out of there. And this, I think I'm gonna have come over. See, a traveler's notebook is 4 inches or 4.5. So I think I'm gonna have this come over like 4.5, and then this will wrap around. So if I sew papers into here, I will actually have quite a lot of envelope room to stick stuff in back here and a little bit here. And then the other thing I grabbed is I had this rice paper. This is a Stamperia rice paper from Antarctic. And we are going to do a whale watch. The plan at the moment, I have to make reservations today. Oh, can't forget that. Is to do a whale watch. So, and we've done them before. We've done them many, many times before, but it's just so much fun. So I'm excited about that. All right, and the other thing I've done is I have taken all of my white glues, some Mod Podge that I had left over in a bottle, and some Aleene's tacky glue that I had left over in a Baby Bell bottle. And it's the weirdest thing. I put that Baby Bell bottle down someplace. I have no idea where I've put it. Even check the garbage. I don't know. It's menopause. Menopause brain. That's why I'm my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so I'm just going to Mod Podge this down. I love this map. You can see how old it is because it says USSR instead of Russia, and it has names on here that don't exist anymore. Like Barrow is not Barrow anymore. It's Ugavik, I think. Ugavik or Galyuk, I can't remember. But it's gone back to its original name. So we have Seward. I'm going to be going down to Seward. My parents live in Anchorage. Yeah, it's cool. Very, very cool. I've been on almost all of these highways over the years, over the decades. So let's talk about Alaska. So if you have not been to Alaska personally, may I strongly suggest that you go, especially now that the climate is so wonky. It's changed tremendously in the past 20 or 30 years. It used to be that you could drive around, and around every corner, around every bend, there was a glacier that was creeping over the mountains, and it's still stunning, but we've lost some of that because they just keep melting and not replenishing. So it is a stunning, gorgeous, beautiful, magical place. And I know there are a lot of people who like to do the cruise route, but I am always an advocate of not doing the cruise route. I'm always an advocate of fly to Anchorage, rent yourself an SUV, a car. I mean, you can get an SUV rental for a week for $500–600. And I think all in all, I mean, if you take a cruise, you still have to fly out there and catch the cruise, usually from Bellingham, Washington. And then, you know, you still have to pay for the tickets and everything. So I suggest, instead of spending it on a boat, spend it on the air flight and a rental car. And then from the car, you can drive. So say, let's look at the map. So say you land in Anchorage. This next week, we're going to be driving down to Seward, which is down here, which is part of Prince William Sound and the Kenai National Park. And you can go on a whale watch here, which is what we're going to do. And there are several companies that have different durations, from a half a day to a full day plus a stay in a cabin on an island. So there are all kinds of levels that you can do that here. And they all feed you, and they feed you halibut and salmon. This is about a 2-hour drive. Then you can do another, like, I think it's like another 2-hour drive over to Homer. Homer is a magical place. There's a resort at the Spit that you can stay on. And then you go back to Anchorage. And then you have choices here. You can drive up the Glen Highway and stop and see the Matanuska Glacier, and you can do whitewater rafting, and you can do glacial hikes. And there are, again, all levels, from something that you can do with kids to kids or people with you know, tired joints, or you can do fly in and do technical ice climbing. So it's all levels. It's just magical. And then if you drive around over here to Valdez, then this is Prince William Sound, and this is just spectacular. You can take a ferry over to Cordova. I mean, the whole place is amazing. Then from here, you can go out to the Wrangell St. Elias National Park and out to McCarthy, where there's an old copper mine. You can drive out to Denali. This Denali Highway is a beautiful drive. There's a glacial moraine that it's like an elevated highway, but it was elevated by nature, not by humans. And it's just this, you look out to the north and to the south of you, and it's all tundra, and you can see caribou and wolves and bears and moose. And you make it to Denali National Park. It used to be called Mount McKinley. It's now back to its original name, Denali. And again, it's all levels. You can stay in a five-star Princess Cruise Line hotel, or you can camp, and you can camp at their very well-maintained national park campsite, or you can take the bus out into the bush and just bushwhack and camp with the bears and the wolves and the caribou and the moose. It's spectacular. So there's still all these amazing things. Fairbanks is fabulous. You can go to the hot springs up there. There's Manly, but there's also Chitna, I think, hot springs. There are, I mean, it's just like there's every level for every interest level, and you can do it all in your rental car. So much better than if you do the coast, if you do the cruise, then you start down here and you just go up in here and then you kind of fly home. So like, it's okay. You're going to see spectacular, gorgeous things, but I just think there's so much more to see if you're driving around Alaska. Okay, that's my spiel. I'll stop. I'm going to give this a coating on this side as well. And then I will put this to, well, I guess I don't really want to put it to the side. Maybe I'll hit it with my gun. So yeah, so I'm really excited. Plus, I haven't been out since 2019. We went right before the pandemic. And then, you know, the pandemic happened and lockdown happened. And even though the rest of the world kind of came out of it last year, they didn't come out of it as quickly as the rest of the world because of, well, it would be speculation on my part to say why, but in any case, it took them a really long time to come out of it. But now they're out of it, and you know, I'm gonna go see my mom and my dad and my brother and his partner, and I'm very excited to see family. Okay, so I need to let that dry. My plan is to put that rice paper on the other side. And I think what I want to do here, this is what I can do while I wait for it to dry. I think I'm going to use some muslin. Let me put a little bit of something in here so it doesn't stick. I want to put, let's stick that way in, some muslin on here to reinforce the flap, because I'm going to use the flap as a flap and as a closure. So I need some scissors, and I want to cut this about here so that I can kind of tuck it in a little bit. And I will sew around as well. So, and then I have some muslin to stick in here. Yep, that works. And then if I slide it in a little bit of extra way, then that will also reinforce that seam where the flap folds. So, messy Jessie, here I go. And then I'm gonna tear it and leave a little bit of extra space for frayage, like so. And I think I probably will sew around the whole thing because I just like the way that looks. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this down with just some glue stick because drying time, and I am gonna sew. And this also serves the purpose of covering up this sticky bit of the label of the flap. Okay, so much stickiness. Oh, I want that to go in a little bit further. Okay, that's like that. Smooth it out. This needs to be trimmed just a smidge. I can miter it down so it's not interfering. There we go. This one doesn't seem to be having a problem. Okay. So that's going to be on that side. And then I have some denim. Nope. It's not like heavy denim. I think this is super lightweight denim. And it came in like a little batch of fabric that I got. I think I must have bought it on Etsy from someone. And I apologize, but I really don't remember who I got the bundle from. It might have been from Amore Fabriques. I get a lot of bundles of fabric from Amore Fabrique from Selena. And she usually has some interesting things. So it's possible I got it from her on Etsy, but I can't be sure. Again, menopause brain. I'm blaming menopause brain. Okay, I'm going to tear this down to the right width. Let's say about here. And then, oh, it tears like a dream. And then I'm going to, see, I just want it to go past the seam just a smidge. And then I'll cut it down to be the same height as this. Like so. Have you guys seen Barbara at 49 Dragonflies denim? If I were really ambitious, I would do some slow stitching on this, but I don't have time. I still have to clean the house. I don't know what I'm going to bring for clothing because I looked at the weather and it's going to be kind of rainy and cool there this coming week. The first half of the week is going to steady that next half of the week, but mid-August is already starting to be fall out there. Or up there. And we're going to be going on that boat thing, which is going to be cold. So I need to pack a jacket and I need to pack some layers. So it's hard when it's, you know, 90 degrees here and you're wearing a t-shirt and shorts to be thinking about packing clothes for chilly weather out there. And like, my mind hasn't switched over to that yet. All right, so this is still so wet. I think I went overboard on the watering down. That's right. I'm just gonna flip it. I'm just gonna flip it. It's gonna be fine. And it's just for me. There's something a little bit freeing. There's less pressure, I think, when I know I'm just making this for me and I'm not making this for some potential unknown customer who I feel it needs to be perfect for. So yeah, so I it's interesting. I think I like this. There's one side that looks a little more, little less warp and wefty, and this one you can kind of see the speckledness of the warp and the weft. So I'm gonna do this side and try and line it up like that. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have, here, I'm just going to cut this down a little bit along the edge so that I can see where to cut this along the edge. And then like this. How did I have that? I have it like this. Oh, but I can kind of see it on this side. That's good. That's good. I just want to, I like having that kind of curve shape so that it tells you that yes, this is an envelope. Okay. So there's that. I am going to hit this with my heat gun because I'm feeling impatient. So if you don't like the sound of the heat gun, you can just like fast forward until I'll give you the thumbs up when I'm done with the heat gun. Okie dokie. Done. Burnt the paper a little bit there. Got a little carried away. It's all right. Again, just for me. All right, so let's flip this baby. And, all right, hold on. Let me think about this. I want this to go, it's got a cool feel to it. It does feel coated. Oh, where's my paper towel? I need a paper towel. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. It feels cool. All right, so I wanted to 1, 2, 3, 4, make it 4.5. So that's going to be about the front there. So it goes this way. All right, so now I'm going to pull out my rice paper. Oh, come on, you. Maybe I might stick my rice paper down with the glue stick because it just dries so much faster. Why? Why? All right, here we go. Having a moment. So Stamperia makes, I'm sure most of you know, just gorgeous rice paper. And this is from the Arctic Antarctic line, which is just a beautiful, well, that's going to work out pretty perfectly. Ugh, that's awesome. Oh, wait, did I do that right? I did that right? Yeah, that's right. Oh, and I get this on the front. That makes me so happy. Let me see what happens if I do the bottom half. If I do the bottom half, then I'm going to be cutting into that. Or I suppose I could pull it down this way. But all you get is a whale's tail there. Although I suppose whale's tails are interesting. Now, I'm liking this. Oh, if only that was the Arctic Circle there, not Antarctica. That's okay. I got my whale. All right, so I'm going to bring out my cutting machine tool thing board here. And I'm going to cut, I want to cut right above the whale's tail because I want to make sure that I leave that intact for some other project. And if it doesn't, you know, make it exactly to the edge, again, it's just for me. All right, that works. And this does, I need to change my thingy there, but I'll save that. And then, oh, I'm really loving this. This is making me so happy. Okay, oh, and look, the blue just works so perfectly. Oh. All right, so maybe this is a pocket, so this has to stay open. Oops, glad I just checked that. Let's deal with that first for a second. I feel like I need to miter this and tuck it in. Give it a little bit of strength. So I'm just going to use some glue stick for that. Like that, because that can't get sewn, because if I sew that, then can't open my pocket. Okay. Piece of cake. And then I'm gonna leave that overhang there because that will probably get caught when I sew around the edges. And when I sew around the edges, it might catch the edge of that pocket, but I think this pocket's plenty big and I don't have to worry too much about it. Okay, so let's just make sure we're doing this right side up again, because wouldn't that be sad to put your rice paper down and have it be wrong side round. Okay. Glue stick. And I might, what do we think? Do we think glue stick rice paper on fabric? Do we have any opinions on how that works? Rice paper on top of fabric. We're gonna find out, guys. I'm going to be your experimental thing. So have any of you guys been to Alaska? If so, did you do the cruise? Did you do any of the side trips to, say, Denali? Or, I don't know, where else do they do? I guess they do the side trips to, like the places in the Inside Passage. What was the Dead Horse Gulch, is it? And the trail, I forget, is it Dead Horse? I forget. What the name of it is. There's like this trail that was famous. The miners would take a boat up the Inside Passage, and then they would load up their pack animals with all of their mining supplies, and they'd have to, like, they carved stairs into the edge of this glacier that overhung the port, and they have pictures of these lines of miners and these poor mules and donkeys and horses trying to climb this mountainous stairway that's slippery and icy, and they had like the horses would collapse and fall over the edge. So yeah, so that's one of the places you can go on your cruise. I'm sorry, was that terrible? I apologize if that was terrible. Some of the history of stuff that went down in Alaska is not for the sensitive. Yeah, pretty good. But I'm thinking maybe I should do a, should I do a coating of the glue on top of the rice paper? The rice paper is pretty sturdy. But what the heck, I have it right here. Okay, so let's do I'm going to do see if I can do a modest coating and not have it be so, because this is fairly watered down, so wet. And if I just do a modest coating, maybe it'll wind up being like a thin layer of actual glue, just as a protective layer for the journal itself. All right. That's good. No puddles. Okay, so I am going to pause this, dry it, sew it around, and then I'll be right back.